Italian Football Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Italian Football Podcast. I'm Carlo Garganese, not joined by Nima Tavallaey today. He's not feeling too well. But today I am joined by the fantastic Alessandro Jacobone, who is the co-founder of Radio Rossonera. He writes for MilanNews.it. And he's a regular pundit on SportItalia, Tutto Mercato Web, and much of the Italian media. And today we're going to continue our Mercato deep dive series by focusing on Milan, who are very active in the Mercato with players coming in and players going out as well. So, Alessandro, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, how are you doing? And secondly, you've been quite busy over the last few days, haven't you? Because we tried to do this interview on Monday at Casa Milan, but there was some problems with the Wi-Fi at Casa Milan. So we're doing it again today. But you were there for the first press conference, the official press conference of Max Allegri as the returning Milan coach and the beginning of pre-season for Milan.
Yeah, thanks, Carlo, for the call. It's an honor to be part of your podcast. As much as I like your way to communicate. I'm sorry that Nina is not with us, but he's getting old, so that happens to the old people to get sick sometimes. No, joking apart, yes, it was a busy day with a low connection because a lot of fans were in Casa Milan to the store, a lot of journalists when there is too many people, the connection and the Wi-Fi is not stable, so that's why our first trial was gone wrong. That's the reason. But yes, as you said, it was a busy day, a long Monday, and Monday is always a particular day. And it's been long because we had the meeting with Massimiliano Allegri. They spent the first words in Rossonero shirt, he's back after 11 years after his first experience. And we were talking before of records that usually the conference call and lately especially the conference call are flat. No sense. I mean, always the same things, same questions, same answer, standard, no surprises, no spoiled, nothing. But the blood of the conference of Massimiliano Allegri, it's been not in the word that he spent, but with I tell you a particular details that nobody saw, because was before the starting of the record, on Milan TV, the official channel of AC Milan. But it's been the way he walked into the room, with a smile, with the face of someone ready to take back the things in his hands, because as you know, Massimiliano Allegri, even when he won with Juventus lately, many championships, he was always criticized for the way he let the team play, always a dark shadow over him. And even if he said twice that he doesn't care because the most important thing is the target, is the goal to win the matches, I'm quite sure that he wants to show to anyone, to everyone, that is able also to let the teams play well. And the face that was printed, when he came into the room was clear. And the feeling has been to have back in Casa Milan the normality. And that sounds weird, because it should be special. You remember Mourinho, the special one. Allegri is the normal one. But what AC Milan needed lately in the last years is the normality. That's, I think that is the most important thing.
And how has Allegri's appointment been received by the fans? Because obviously there's been a lot of unhappiness with the fans, with the ownership the last year or two. And Allegri's somebody who was very unpopular with Juventus, a lot of Juventus fans, not all of them, in his second spell at Juve. First spell, amazing. Second spell, lots of difficulties, not playing too well, didn't get the results. Are the fans happy to see Allegri back, or do they see him as somebody that maybe, his best days are in the past?
Well, I guess that the fans, they were looking someone with large shoulders, someone to trust, someone that they know in the right and the bad sides. Like the things lately, AC Milan tried to, starting from the management with the group of work, the team of work, the teamwork that without the sporting director, without like any kind of figure that usually in the soccer team are included, like normal. Like AC Milan started to do kind of the strange, new, and unfortunately wrong choices. And in the last years, choosing also trainers without trust them, because if you do like 6 months of contract to Fonseca, is because you don't trust. He's a fiancé. He's not like married. Is a different things. When you date someone, is different than you get married. So when you have like this continually like changing of strategies, because when you count on Fonseca first and Morata as a iconic player of the season, and after 6 months you need to change everything, makes feel like the supporter unstable, like they're like not feeling ground under the feet, and this is the worst like sensation that a supporter could have, that's the risk.
For sure. So Allegri, he's back after 11 years. Was he the first choice to replace Sergio Conceicao?
What do you mean?
Did they always want him? When they made a decision, we don't continue with Conceicao, was it Allegri was always the one they wanted? Or was there somebody else?
Listen, no, I don't think that Allegri was immediately the first. It's like when they took like Tare, Igli Tare, that is like the competence like that we were looking for, like people that knows how to do the things, what to do, and when to do. Because in the conference call, they spoke like about the phone call of Tare to Allegri, and Allegri said like I immediately met like Tare and Giorgio Furlani, the AD, the CEO of AC Milan, and that means that one call made like 2 days later probably could be like too late. So the thing is that Tare, when I arrived, Tare and AC Milan planet decided like to point Allegri. So at the beginning, I was like not sure even that Conceicao was leaving, because if he was like winning the Coppa Italia, probably things were like changing. So it's the things like that they were like making like the supporters unstable and not convinced about the strategies, because they changed a lot. So now is a new restart. I lost the counting of the numbers of the restart of AC Milan lately, but
Like Juve, the same as Juve.
Hopefully there are like 2 towers, like Tare and Allegri, and we can put the roof on.
I love that. So Tare is the new sporting director. who has, and then there's also Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well. Where is the power, do you think, in terms of making the decisions between Tare, between Allegri, Zlatan, Furlani, Monsada? And especially when I say this with the transfer market, who do you think's making the decisions, who to buy, who to sell?
Well, officially, they always say that they share the things, and in the recent past, like they did it, like. But unfortunately, as I was telling you before, like soccer needs like to catch the time, the right time. Like it's full of sliding doors. I always say something like I do an example because when the people ask me, Ale, what do you mean for the to the right time, to be quick, to be independent of taking decision? You remember Bonaventura?
Yeah.
Okay. Bonaventura. Bonaventura arrived to AC Milan in 2 hours of like dealing because he met like Inter with the manager. Inter was in standby because had other operation other transfer to do before. He put Bonaventura in standby. Marino called Galliani. Galliani asked them like to reach him to Casa Milan in the afternoon, in the night, in the evening, they signed the contract. Because Galliani decided, stop it. Galliani created the situation, created the transfer, closed the transfer, finalized the contract, and that's it. With the asset that we had lately, with the teamwork, as Furlani says many times, this could not be possible. Because if I have to call you, you have to call America, you have to call London, you have to get the permission. The money is fine. Treat like a deal the money for the player, the money for the commission, and blah blah blah. All the things is like bureaucratical things that is getting things too slow. Today there is Igli Tare. Igli Tare should be the main one, like looking for it with Moncada the players and choosing them. After that, there is the step of Furlani counting the money, the strategy, the economical strategies to get to the point or not. And let me say, at the moment, Ibrahimovic is like beside them, like as a connection that they always said, from being a Red Bird, like manager, like not a straight AC Milan manager. So he's like someone that connected like the property, the ownership and the teamwork that stay in Casa Milan or Milanello. So this should be at the moment the situation. About how quick they work together, how cool, how determined, or who is deciding, we will see. We will see in the next weeks. First, with the speed of the strategy and the transfer. Second, basically with the names that come out. Because, for example, Retegui is someone that has been proposed from the managers last year, and teamwork didn't even sit on the table and was with a good price. So that kind of player, if now is getting back to be on the table and to be considered, means that there is another head on the top to decide which player, which kind of player, and
who said no? Sorry, just who said no to Retegui last year? Who made the decision? No, we don't want Retegui.
But we don't know who, because there is. We had not even the time to understand who was because it's been a no, that's it, no. No,
Yeah.
no, like Moise Kean before, like
Mm.
many things. No, just
Yeah.
no.
Just no. Okay. Let's move on now to the players who could leave Milan this summer. So already there's been a few players have left. Tijani Reinders, Kalulu, Calabria, Luka Jovic, Florenzi, Kyle Walker, Tammy Abraham, João Felix, Ricardo Sotil, all of these players were on Milan's books last season. They're no longer on Milan's books. So let's look at who else could possibly leave. So we'll start off with the one that's ongoing, and that is Theo Hernandez. He's in talks with Al-Hilal, advanced talks. This transfer is definitely going to happen.
It's happening. He's already been like officialized like in the last hours. So
Yeah.
Theo Hernandez is gone. He's gone.
Mm.
He's gone, and he will be like forever in the left back, the best left back of AC Milan history. And I think
Mm.
nobody can say something else. And
Mm.
unfortunately, as Leao wrote on the social media, on the Instagram, unfortunately, the his, uh, his story with the AC Milan ended like in this way, probably not the best one, and left like the bad taste. But for the rest, I mean, AC Milan. And Tare with Furlani and Moncada, they have like to work hard because many players you say like they left, others are out of the project,
Mm.
Adli,
Yeah.
probably Pobe or whatever, like
Mm.
that kind of players. The only one that will stay, he's back in order to stay is Salma Kers that showed also in Bologna first and in AS Roma the last year to be the right one, and
Mm. Yeah.
is a good news like that is
Mm.
back to AC Milan, because I mean I was surprised that they sold it like on loan so quickly. 2 years ago. So that's another that's another sign that
Mm.
something is changing, because if the player that you kick out now is considered a value, means that the things changed
Things
on
are
the top.
changing. Yeah, we'll come on to the loan players in a minute. So Teo's leaving. Mike Maignan at the press conference that you were at, Allegri said he's staying. Is that definitely now he's staying? Because he was in talks with Chelsea earlier on in the summer. It didn't happen. Chelsea made one of the most stupid offers I've ever seen, 15 million euros for Maignan, which is crazy. Is he definitely? He's definitely going to be there next season. And will he sign a new contract, Mike Maignan?
Well, this season is going to be part of AC Milan, but I'm not sure that he's going to sign the renew. I think that they convince him like to stay, and this is the only one thing that I didn't really appreciate, but not because like let me say, AC Milan has to be the first choice. It's not a team that has to convince the players to play with, like I don't know, like looks like a boomer talk like from someone that comes from another
I
world. I
agree
know
with
that
you. Yeah.
I know that it's not like the same AC Milan that won the seven championship and everything, but the Champions League. But in the meantime, like the brand, the history, like in the colors, like what they represents, cannot be like put like behind any player. So for me, okay, Maignan is gonna be like the goalkeeper the next year, but I'm not sure that he's gonna renew the
So
contract.
you think he
So
could leave? He could leave on a free transfer on a Bosman in a year.
I think that is not gonna be that easy. Allora, if AC Milan is gonna have like a great season, never say never. I mean, when there is like the hype of the situation, because I mean, there is like the team that is one squad, like the teammate, like are a good group and everything. In that case, the things could change. But let me say, uh, is an interrogative point.
Yeah. Okay. Emerson Royale. He's been a disappointment since joining from Tottenham, which doesn't surprise anybody who watched him at Tottenham, including me. I couldn't believe that Milan were signing him. Is he for sale? Is Milan looking to sell Emerson?
And I guess so, because Allegri forgot his name on the conference when he was talking about the left back and the right back. So he completely forgot his name. So, I mean, I guess so. I guess so. They try to sell, but he got injured last year. So the last minute, now, thanks God, he's back. He's like, he's okay. He's also a good guy. He's a professional. Like there is nothing bad to say about
Yeah,
Emerson
yeah.
Royal, but the fit. I mean, basically the same reason that surprises like for the name, but like the things that pissed the fan off, like in the last season, is the several stay calm, trust on us. That didn't get to the point. Like several choices that you say, why? Why are you doing this? Don't worry, we know what we are doing.
You know
When you
which is the
say we,
craziest one? A Milan on fullbacks. The other day, somebody reminded me. I was speaking to a Hungarian journalist, and he said Milan sold Milos Kerkez for like 1 million or something, 1 million euros, and they replaced him in order to sign Balotore. So they sold Kerkez for Balotore, and Kerkez this summer has gone to Liverpool for 50 million euros or something like that. One of the best left backs in the Premier League. It's crazy.
the things of Kerkez is, I can tell you, the reason why he left is because he pretended to be on the first squad, like the first 11,
Mm.
and because he was like that's sure to become like a great player. He was like, it's good. It's good in one way. It's good in one way,
Mm.
like that you are like so determined, like so confident about yourself and everything. But in the meantime, like he was not ready to be behind anyone. Like in that case, we took Theo Hernandez from Real Madrid. So the thing was like that. Unfortunately, if he was arriving now, being now in the list of the young players, probably could have like the chance also to be like Jimenez, that we took from Real Madrid. Is like young as well, and
Mm.
he played the last part of the season. Many, many, many games. Like so, the things sometimes you have to be in the right place in the right moment,
Yeah,
and works in both of the way.
yeah, you're right.
Sometimes
You
like
said it.
happens.
Yeah, you said the sliding doors. Fikayo Tomori. What's his situation, Tomori?
But Tomori was like close to leave, but after the second part of the season was like a good one, and I mean Tomori is a good player, but needs to be focused. Like 100%, 95 minutes. Not
Mm.
90, 95,
Yeah.
also for overtime included.
Mm.
Because we call the Tomorate, means when he does the things, he has the blackout. He is like, having tackle inside the area, like the penalty area, doing like this. Sometimes he has like the blackout. And so, I mean, I think that with Allegri, he could grow up on this
Do you think
because
he'll
Allegri
stay?
could be the switch. What?
You think he'll stay? You think Tomori will stay?
Carlo, AC Milan, as you said, like has 1,000 players to switch. They left already, and 1,000 they have to arrive. We
Yeah.
cannot change. We cannot change all. They
The
were
whole
planning like to send Ciao to Como. Now he's in standby because he has like requests from Germany, so he doesn't want to go to Como, even if Como like has like a bigger like vision, a larger vision, more than the 80%, 90% of the teams in Italy and also in Europe. So he's very well oriented. Looks like reminds me like the Chelsea in the first approach when Abramovich brought like Chelsea, and Chelsea was a small team, and after he said, I'm gonna turn it in one of the best European team, and he made it like he did it. So that's the same things.
Come on now, yeah.
The ownership looks like to be oriented to create something cool, but Ciao doesn't or didn't give like the okay to the transfer yet. So there is like this kind of sliding doors as well. So if Ciao goes, like leaves, for sure nobody else will leave AC Milan in the central back.
In the centre back. Okay.
For the rest,
Yeah. Okay.
it's up to the request.
Yeah.
And
No.
the offer.
You've explained that perfectly. That was going to be my next question about Thiaw. So you've explained that. Yunus Musa, Napoli were in talks, but it's gone quiet now. There has been some interest. Premier League. Is he going to leave? Because I think it was Igli Tare said maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that he's a good player, but he doesn't fit the kind of football that we're planning to play. So is Musa somebody that could leave this summer?
Yes, definitely one of the that has mostly the chance to leave. Also, Allegri was like doing the list of the players, the center field, like, and he said like at the moment there is Musa, and at the moment, opens the windows, not the doors, the windows to launch him outside the
To
window.
throw him out,
And
to throw him.
yeah, exactly. Now, I mean, it's good that AC Milan is asking the right price when someone is requested, like as Musa was requested by Naples. But I'm sure that Naples are gonna show again, even if things changed when when they decide like to keep the same players, Anguissa, and
Anguissa,
that decided to don't leave and everything. So the urgency like was like less, but I'm convinced that Conte is gonna ask to Napoli to keep looking for. So it's still open. He's has also like a request from Premier League, but I mean they are like quite cold at the moment. Like Premier League starts to move the cards like later. So he's like a domino. He's like a domino. Premier
Domino
League
effect.
is a huge domino. When the first like trick like is gonna fall, like the rest is gonna
for sure.
start to
That's what's yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. That's what's going to happen with Milan, with Morata, isn't it? Osimhen will go to Galatasaray, and then Morata will go to Como, and so on. Two more before I ask you about Leao. Warren Bondo and Samuel Chukwueze, are they both players that are going to maybe leave this summer?
Bondo, I'm looking for information because I mean he had not the time to show the potential in AC Milan because he arrived the last season. He got injured. He didn't play that much. So we didn't see his potential. And even the one value that is the most important thing when you wear like the jersey that you are wearing right now. I mean the personality to hold it like on the shoulders, like in front of a San Siro stadium, and that's the most important thing. I think that is in the preparation time, like in this training. Yesterday, Monday, I saw him like very focused on and determined to show to Allegri his potential. So let's see what's going on. But of course, he's not the first on the list to be like sold. If there is any request, honestly, AC Milan is ready to sell everyone with a good money put on the table. So he's up on the request. I
Makes
don't
sense.
think there is like that much that could let the management of AC Milan get crazy. But the thing is
Okay.
that Bondo probably is one of the less like close
To
to
leave.
leave.
And Chukwueze? Chukwueze?
Chukwueze is eternally ready to leave, but
Mm.
in that case, let's see, because let's see who is arriving. Because I mean, Pulisic is like the main one on the side, and of course, he's gonna start to be the main one, like even the next season. But Chukwueze is something that is someone that has been like both for a huge like amount, 30 millions, 28 millions, and it's not easy to cover, to don't create a gap in the in the balance and everything. So you need to sell him, but you need to sell it like in the right way with the right amount. And after 2 seasons with the up and down,
Mm.
it's not that easy.
Yeah, yeah, that is sure. His value has dropped. Okay, this is the big question then. Rafael Leao, what is going to happen to him? Because Bayern Munich like him, but there's been no offer. We've seen Allegri, Tare both speak about him, and we saw Allegri having a bit of a joke with him in the training as well on Monday, which they were smiling. So, yeah, what do you think is going to happen, Rafael Leao? Do you think are you confident he will stay?
I guess that for the two reasons that you said like you name it like Bayern Monaco, but Bayern Monaco didn't do any offer. Nobody did like the huge offer to put you like in front of the choice.
Hmm.
And considering the quality, is our top player at the moment. So I mean, he has the right age to do the step forward to start to be or to get close to be a top player and to have the personality also to to drive all the team. I mean, there are like technical leaders and there are like other kind of leaders that
Hmm.
like personality leader. And
Spiritual leaders. Yeah.
he is a technical leader
Hmm.
now without Theo Hernandez, that was like his brother, like in into the group of the squad and
Hmm.
everything. Like I guess that he has to take more responsibilities also for the young players that are arriving. Try to show the way, and Allegri probably wanted to speak with him a lot during the first training, even to show to him, but also to understand, to have a feedback. He has experience to understand if he can do the step forward or not. Just in case he was not satisfied like this kind of request from Allegri, and in the meantime could arrive a huge offer from Bayern Monaco that didn't arrive, as you said, yet. Never say never. But I mean, as you said before, as I told you like before, they cannot do too much in the short time. And we have to get ready because in August, in half of August, we have also the first official match for the Coppa Italia qualification, and is already an important step with a small team. But the the enemies are behind the corner when you are not ready physically because you just started the preparation. That's the thing we have to be
Makes
careful
sense.
about.
Yeah. The players that were out on loan. So you've already said that Salamakers is going to be part of the group for this season. The other ones, we got Vasquez, Adli, Benacer, Pobega, Colombo, Lazatic, Okafor, and Morata, which we said before he's going to go to Como. These players, none of them have a future at Milan this season. They're all going to move on.
Go to Amazon.com, look for AC Milan player. You're gonna find a folder with discounts, with sales, take off. No, it's like the list of the players that you have done. They warm like also Adli, that is a good guy, is a good person, doesn't deserve like a tough treatment and everything. That he needs to go. He needs to choose another team. To choose another team. And so otherwise he's gonna play with Milan Futuro in Serie D, and so I mean more than this they cannot say anything else. Like I mean I think that they are all on sale. Unfortunately, there is not like that much request. The risk is like to do like several loans, and
Yeah, makes sense. One final question before we look at the players that could join Milan. Liberali, Matteo Liberali. Now, he's somebody that I watched him in the under-17 Euros a year ago when Italy won the title, him and Kamada. Now, Kamada's already gone to Lecce, but these on loan, these two players are seen as the best young talents maybe for their age group in Italy. But Liberali's had some problems, and there's some friction between him and the club. His contract, I think it runs out in a year. Is it true that Liberali, he might leave Milan?
Yes, it's true that Liberali could leave Milan. They tried like to sell him like already a couple of times. No news from the renewal of the contract. The supporters that they follow, like the young, like he's wondering why, because he's like a player considered like able to be part of the first team, sometimes there are like things going on between managements, and I think that AC Milan should like loan him and sell with the rebuy option, because otherwise could be like something that we
They
can
regret. Yeah.
regret like for the next years. Not because I mean the thing is that the way that he touched the ball in front of the stadium, even being like 17 years old, is not common. Like it's not like normal. Yeah, he doesn't feel the pressure. He plays like he's always looking for like the choice with the high percent of like difficulties. Like
Yeah.
he's not like doing the easy pass. He's doing like the complicated one that where it's easy to do a mistake. But when you're young, you are in San Siro, and you are not afraid about to do a mistake. That means that you are like you have something more than just the quality. You have the personality. So this is what I saw on Liberali. After that, let me say, I hope to don't lose the control on the player and to see the next years what's going on. But I would like to don't lose him, like because otherwise it could be very painful.
Yeah, for sure. It seems crazy to me. I mean, he's somebody that has been compared. I think Alessandro Costacurta compared him to Phil Foden, the England player. Phil Foden, same kind of small left foot, very good small short game control. It seems crazy to me, but I agree with you. Italian clubs need to put buyback clauses in the contracts when they sell these players. It happens too much. You know, Kerkez, if Milan had put a buyback clause in that contract, they could have bought him back. You know, Juventus, we've seen do it, like with Dean Huijsen, for example, which was a crazy sale. So, yeah, okay, let's move on to the players that Milan can sign this summer. So, already Milan have signed Samuele Ricci. Let's have a look at the other ones they can sign. So we'll start with the midfield because this is the area where Milan seem to be doing most of the work in the mercato. So first of all, Luka Modric. This is a done deal, right? It will just happen once the Club World Cup is finished. Real Madrid finish the Club World Cup. Modric will join Milan, correct?
Yes. The only one like interrogative point is like an injury, like during the final or the semi-final. That's the only one thing. That's why when he was like getting into the field, I was like crossing fingers because you never say never. Like it can happen, and the only could be also the only one reason to cancel a transfer that is already done because. Even Tare and Allegri spoke about him, and is the right percent of experience that AC Milan group needed after the departure of Giroud and Kier, Simon Kier, like last year. Now with Florenzi and all the players that they are important for to keep the direction when when you are on the boat you need like the
Captain, yeah.
sailor man like that keeps the boat in the right direction with a strong wind and the huge waves. So in the storm you need to be driven from someone that knows the sea, and that's the metaphoric way like to say that AC Milan needs this kind of players, so that's why they are always welcome to AC Milan.
Yeah. Milan are trying for some experienced players and some younger players this summer. You're right. Granit Xhaka was another player that Milan were looking at because, for the reason you just said, to have this older, kind of more experienced player. But they couldn't agree with Bayer Leverkusen. Is this finished now, Xhaka? Do you think it's Milan have moved on?
I think the thing is that Xhaka has been the first the small friction between Tare and the rest of the team because he was like his first choice for experience, for the tactical reasons and everything. AC Milan has like some rules and they consider like 50 millions for that old players too much. So that's why they prefer to put some money more and buy Ricci because Ricci is, in the parabolic way, is like at the point where he can grow and be sold later as Tonali, as Renders, as the players that got like the value, like growing up. And I don't say that it's close and that it could not arrive because, as you said, like we need so many players in Germany, they are not used to do discounts, last minute discount. But if Leverkusen could open to some like reducing of request or whatever, never say never, because as I said, like it was the first choice. So first choice means that it was important. Okay, that Ricci is a similar one, but could be okay as well. Even because I know that Guerra from Valencia and Jashari, they are, the first one is so and so. Like I heard like that he spent some words like during the competition with some journalists that I met in Casa Milan Monday, and he told me that off records he said that he was not coming to AC Milan. So Guerra is quite cold right now. Jashari, AC Milan is waiting for the green light from Bruges, but he's like a rope like pulling that I don't know how it's going on, because looks like AC Milan doesn't want to be like to pay too much.
Too much,
Even because otherwise the thing is that I said before of the starting of the transfer market, and the problem came out immediately. When you sell renders, and you sell renders showing that you got a lot of money, blah blah blah, that for me is not enough for the value of renders compared from who bought renders, because I mean Manchester City is like Paris Hilton with a golden credit card in London, like ready to buy everything, like with a pink chihuahua on the shoulder, and that's it. So that's how I imagine. Like I see like Manchester City spending money for everyone, like throwing like dollars like this, like a rain. But anyway, like the people knows that AC Milan sold players. Now they sold also Theo Hernandez. People and managers of other teams, they know that AC Milan has the need to buy and the money in the pocket.
Yeah.
That's the worst like ingredient for commercial way. If you go to the market without thousands of dollars in the pocket, you don't need to be like a genius to take more money
To take
out
more
from your
money.
pocket.
Yeah. Well, what we do know is Jashari wants to join Milan, doesn't he? That's his club. I think maybe he supported them maybe as a kid. I think there's been some reports that he was a fan of Milan when he was a kid. So yeah, I think he wants Milan.
Honestly, Carlo, let me say, I saw that picture. I didn't comment it because I noticed like something.
Oh, what Photoshop?
No. It was not Photoshop. It was not like artificial intelligence. Nothing. That it was like set on the guest like supporters in Barcelona area. So probably he was not there like to watch AC Milan. He was there to watch Barcelona. I guess so. Because he was like not in the other section of San Siro. It was like in the Barcelona one, in the third like level of the stadium. So he was with the Barcelona fans. So I mean, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, he wants to join Milan anyway. They're the club he wants to join. So that always helps, doesn't it? Okay, let's move on. The striker. So we know that Milan wants to sign a new number 9. They've been linked with Dusan Vlahovic, Boniface or Boniface, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Darwin Núñez, Mateta from Crystal Palace, Retegui again, Moise Kean, Embolo from Monaco. These players have all been linked. How do you see Milan's search for a striker? Where are we at the moment, do you think?
At the moment, we are like in the middle of the ocean looking for the island. You know, was like looking for the island because honestly, if you take the list and you do like I don't know if you have like the same game for kids in England like that you give like information about the color of the eyes and you like put the face down. He is a woman or he's a man? A man. Okay, you take down all the women and everything. It's like Indovina chi in
Yes,
Italian.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Who's it? I know. I'm not sure what the actual official name is in English, but yes,
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
exactly. It's the
I've
same age.
played
So
it.
you
I've
needed
played
to
that
take.
game. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you take that game and you take. Okay, we cannot afford to the payment of the commission to those players. Tack, tack, tack,
Mm.
tack, tack. That you put down. That is too much expensive. Tack, tack, tack. This is playing in Premier League, so the salary is too much. Tack, 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 tack. At the end, the list is very short. At the end,
Mm.
the list is very short. You said Retegui, but Retegui has like the Arabian eyes on. Atalanta is very tough. Like selling players, he doesn't sell
Yeah.
for low budget because now Atalanta has to be considered like in the same level of the top club in Italy because that's the true compliments to them for the work that they did it till now in these years, many years. Now it's like interrogative point without Gasperini, but anyway, like as a as a manager, they know how to sell and they sell with a high price. So he's been refused the last season. I don't think that he's gonna like being chosen like for 40 millions. That is an amount that AC Milan doesn't spend. I propose like the option of Vlahovic lately, just because I took all the ingredients from the reality. So
Mm.
not like transfer market and the reality is that Juventus has to sell him. That's it. Tudor doesn't want Vlahovic into the squad, into the group, in order to don't create any kind of crash and any kind of problems. He knows that he's playing his own card on his career. He doesn't want to miss, the chance to do well with Juventus. So Tudor asked to take like Vlahovic out from the list of the players for the season. In the meantime, the entire cost with the salary, with the is like 42 millions for on the balance,
Mm.
for Juventus for one season. They are considering to cut the contract. That means to value like to take value off of the ticket, and so in the balance is going to be 20 millions less. Plus, you need to give the price to go away, to cut the contract. So you need to pay Dusan to convince him like to finish the contract. This is like a bleeding, economical bleeding that Juventus knows that has to do, but try to bleed as less as they can.
Yeah.
In case AC Milan show the interest, and I know that even if the rumors say that Allegri, when he was in Turin, was criticizing him and blah 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 blah, I know because I called like people close to Allegri management. I know for sure that he could agree because he knows that AC Milan cannot get, the best player ever, cannot get Sesko, cannot get like other players that are too expensive. So in this case, you can give to the team like one experienced guy in the Italian season because he is Italian basically, and with right percent of willing to show that is not like the Vlahovic of Juventus, is a Vlahovic of Florence. That we remember like as an amazing so. Plus, we need someone that is like being in the area most of the time. And Tare, in his presentation, said the same thing. We are looking for a striker that occupies the area. And he's exactly that. And this could be great in the 4-3-3. That could be like the position like of the players with Allegri, with the two wings, you know, in the left side and the right side.
Leao and Pulisic,
you know, fighting with the huge shoulders is very good to hold the ball from the launch of the Maignan or whatever from the the line back and everything, in order to defend the ball and to give the ball to the left, to the right. That's for me is a good solution. AC Milan could be the exit way for Juventus to save this bleeding that is going to be expensive. Even the chance to renew the contract for 1 year. Okay, so the Juventus could renew the contract for just 1 year in order to permit to Juventus to loan the player to Milan and have like the pay moved to the next season. That could be the strategies. Is many pieces of the puzzle that it needs to put all together, but for me could be the perfect picture, because if you get Luka, that is like the agent that is pushing, the agent Beppe Rizzo is pushing Luka a lot since the December 2023. So every season, every transfer market season like is pushing. If you get Luka and you put Luka and Jimenez as a solution, I think that is not enough for Allegri and is not enough for the supporters, that of course they don't do transfer market, they don't decide, but AC Milan knows also that needs to warm up the supporters, because there is the selling of like the ticketing for the season. They need to work the mood. They need to work the mood. And
they need to,
Vlahovic could be the right name.
Okay, Vlahovic could be the one to watch there. The replacement for Theo Hernandez, we've seen Milan linked a lot with Archie Brown, English left back, playing in Belgium. Is this the one potentially to replace Theo?
Yes, he's one of the name. He came out like lately, but he's very strong on the list. I know that the request is already too high for the standard of AC Milan, that wants like to spend like 15-20 millions maximum. And as I said, like when you show like the interest, there is always obviously like they ask you more. There is no time to deal because we started the season Monday without a left back, without players, like unfortunately without the players also to study like the system of Massimiliano Allegri. Like you can hide the situation. You can say, okay, I'm satisfied about the group. We are a strong group. We can spend 1,000 words like in the conference call, but we know that
Rafa Leao, a left back. When Allegri was at Juve, everybody used to joke, Chiesa at right back or Chiesa at left back. Rafael Leao could be the left back.
I'm not that sure that Leao is gonna be that happy, but
No, I understand. They need to bring someone in. Right back. Milan needs to sign a right back as well. Walker's gone. Florenzi's gone, Calabria's gone, and Emerson Royale, like we said before. So who are Milan looking at? Are there any names at right back?
We need to pay attention about the situation of the Fiorentina's right back, like because Dodo, because it's
Dodon,
like
yeah. Mm.
yeah, because he's one of the list. Tare was like looking for him even when he was in Lazio, so I know that he likes him. So let's see, let's see. I mean, I know that some contacts, like some talks, are already done, like been done, like the last weeks. So we will see about, because in that case, of course, we need also with Florenzi that left. There is no choice on that side. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Pulisic.
and Walker
Pulisic right
left.
back.
Walker no, Walker left.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's been like a wrong choice. Like, because
Yeah.
you need to arrive with another head. Like, not,
Mm.
if you arrive to AC Milan, you don't look for a house. You stay in the hotel as a tourist.
Yeah.
Is already a sign that you are like passing by.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Walker had a lot of problems off the pitch with his marriage, his personal life. I think that, yeah, made it difficult for him as well. Plus, yeah, getting older as well. Okay, finally, final position, centre back. So Giovanni Leoni, somebody that's been linked very heavily, a player I really like a lot, but Inter like him. I think Juve like. I think a lot of European clubs want him. So, is there any possibility of Milan going for Leoni, or is there any other names as well?
No, of course, there is a long list of teams that are running after like the young player, because it's clearly like a great potential, and Milan has an advantage respecting like the others, because as you said like before, Liberali could be like the card for
Yeah,
uh, for that kind of transfer. So it's up to Parma and Milan to find the deal. Also for Liberali, I know that there is the interest of Parma on the young player, Italian young player. Let's see. I hope that he's gonna be in the deal for with the strategy that I told you, like with the rebuy option, giving the chance also to Parma to have a great quality player on the field, and in case of giving him a chance to grow up, get paid back with the difference of the rebuying clause. That is like technically one way to pay the smaller team for the work that they do investing on your player. Because I mean, if you keep the ownership of the if you own the player, why they should invest time, energies, and everything on a player that is not like. So in this case, that is the strategy to pay back something to Parma team.
okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, right. Just before we finish, this is a surprise. I didn't warn you about this. We want to put this on our social media. So I want you, Alessandro, as one of the biggest experts, fans of Milan. I want you to pick your best Milan 11 in history. So who would you have in your team? You can pick any players that played for Milan in the history of the club. Who would be your team? You don't have to give an
Well,
explanation. We can do it fast because we'll put it on our Instagram. We'll put it on our just the name of each player and position that you would pick.
okay, Nelson Dida is a goalkeeper. On the left, I could put Theo Hernandez. In the meantime, in the central back, I put Maldini and Baresi. In the right back, Cafu for sure. The midfielder, like I cannot say anything else that Pirlo, Rui Costa, and Seedorf for the quality, but I mean there are thousands because we cannot take Ancelotti out and everything. But I mean we had like a super team lately, so it's very hard for me. Shevchenko for sure as a striker with of the actual team, honestly, no one. I cannot put even Leao, just Theo Hernandez, because he's a different, like a kind of left back considered to the others. But for the rest, who we miss?
I mean, two more attackers. So Shevchenko and two more.
But Filippo Inzaghi, because Inzaghi is the goal, and Inzaghi is the same word. There is not like that different. And after someone that few people. So because I'm old enough, I say Savicevic because Savicevic was like like the light on, light off. He decided when to play. When he decided to play. Nothing could.
Il genio.
You say you left out Kaká, and but I mean I think that Savicevic is unique. Kaká is special. Savicevic he was unique.
There's too many players to pick from. How do you pick? Like you've left out some of the older ones. I know, like people won't like Rivera and Van Basten and these players. I mean.
Yeah, no, but Van Basten, I mean, I was like trying to mix some old players with the new one even because on Instagram, probably mostly the 80% of the people that will see like this kind of list is gonna look for Google to say, who is this player? Who is that player? Because I mean, they are young. Of course, Van Basten is in the other planet. Van Basten is not playing in the best squad of AC Milan. He's playing in another planet. You ask me about this planet. In another planet, there is Gullit, there is Van Basten, there is Rijkaard, there is Zlatan. You know, we are like...
It's
great history.
It's an amazing team. It was an amazing team, that's for sure. Okay, well, Alessandro, thank you so much for joining us today. I knew you would be amazing. You're a fantastic personality. You're very funny as well. I think everybody will really enjoy listening to this, and fantastic knowledge. And before we let you go, what is anything you would like to promote? I mean, if you can tell everybody, where can people find you? Like your social media, your podcast, where can people find you?
Lately, like of course, like on X with the hashtag non evoluto that you can find Alessandro Jacobone on Instagram in X. That is the main platform that I use for the news and everything. After I'm a coordinator of MilanCommunity.com that has also the channel that you can look for with Luca Serafini, one of the main journalists, AC Milan journalist. So we started this project that is oriented to the supporters, Milan clubs, supporters. We do live with the fans. So that's mainly like our core business, like to take care about the fans' needs, give fans like the chance to speak in a platform that is also like followed from AC Milan managers. So we are quite doing well. We are growing without rush with the transfer names in order to do like hype or to have like clicks and everything. It's not monetized. We are not like in that way. We speak because we don't give like to give illusion to fans, because we have fans like as the first of our attention and things. So that's basically one of the last project that I started with the Serafinis 1 year ago, and we'll keep also for this season. So if you want to follow us, you're super welcome to keep it updated about AC Milan.
I would recommend that
daily
to
updates.
everybody. Although we have a lot of Milan fans on our podcast, and it's I definitely would recommend Alessandro following him and following his work, because he's one of the best, and he's very good at to watch and as well. So it's definitely recommend. Okay, Alessandro, thank you. I'm sorry that we've gone and talked for so long, but it was so much to talk about. Thank you everybody for listening and watching. We will be back next week for another Mercato deep dive. We're going to aim to do Juventus next week, but we'll see if we can find somebody as good as Alessandro for Juve for next week. So thank you everybody. Thank you, Alessandro, and we'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.